I'm talking fast-paced action. I'm talking lights, camera, action. You better be about that action, cause ain't no need for no act. Talking hits so hard they breaking backs. Yeah, I ain't with all the chitter chatter.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. I am Jim Renier. Action-packed week 2 we had, ladies and gentlemen, some incredible action, a comeback, a dominating performance, a shootout of sorts, and some tight games. Incredible weekend we had. Remember, you can follow all of this and more, and even relive these moments on the NAL Network. Visit NAL Network at nal-network.com. But we can't do this without our sponsors of the National Arena League. Black Rifle Coffee, First Phantom Energy, Hard AF Seltzer, MyBookie, and SNHU. Ladies and gentlemen, you can watch all the games exclusively on the NAL Network, and we have 2 big games this weekend to kick off week 3 of the NAL. Omaha at Salina and the Dallas Bulls at the Pueblo Punishers. Can Pueblo go 3-0? Is Salina and Omaha going to rekindle that rivalry between the two? We'll find out this week, and then exclusively on Saturday afternoon, NAL Game Day, Beef, Liberty, all exclusive interviews this weekend to get you ready for the big matchup in Salina this weekend. When you think of a rivalry, ladies and gentlemen, Salina and Omaha belongs amongst other rivalries of the game. San Jose, Arizona, Tampa, Orlando, even Omaha and Sioux City. Omaha and Salina have history. It's been a while since they've played each other, but they have a lucrative history between each other. Very passionate history between each other, especially in the old league they were associated with in the Championship Indoor Football League. But when we look back at that, we see moments that we will really get in more in depth. And that's why this Saturday's NAL Game Day is special. It's the rekindle, it's the rebirth of a rivalry. Omaha, Salina, NAL Game Day. You'll have representatives for both teams on interviewing, but also we'll get into some of the history between the two teams on NAL Game Day that will be live at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central for your viewing needs before this weekend's games. Also, again, can't have to share some love to the other games this past weekend as well. Can't just preview next week without looking back. And let's review some of the scores around the NAL in week 2. On Friday night, we saw the Bandits all over the Warbirds, 53-6. As well, we saw the Southwest Kansas Storm battle back after giving up a 12-point lead to the Rougarou to rip the hearts out, getting a big-time stop at the end of the game over the Rougarou, defeating them 24-18. And on Saturday, the Salina Liberty took care of the Midwest Assailants, 61-0. They start off their 2026 season. Also, the big showdown in Omaha. Omaha had the lead late. Pueblo came back and took the lead and stole the win, or was it a dominant win? Depending on what fan base you talk to, you don't know. As Pueblo held on to win at 44-31. And also, the Colorado Spartans bounced back with a dominating effort against the Dallas Bulls, 42-12 to get into. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend's games are live on the NAL Network, and you'll get 2 editions of those games this week. Dallas, Pueblo, and also the rebirth of a rivalry between Salina and Omaha that will be live this Saturday for week 3 action of the National Arena League. But speaking about week 2, here are this week's Players of the Weeks.
I'm talking fast-paced action. I'm talking lights, camera, action. You better be about that action, cause ain't no need for no act. Talking hits so hard they breaking backs. Yeah, I ain't with all the chitter chatter.
Congratulations to the players, and we have one of those individuals on pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's been on fire for the first 2 weeks of the season, and we had him on to talk about his current status in Sioux City. But before we get into our interview of the day and before we get on our first break, let's check out the standings so far in the NAL after 2 weeks.
I'm talking fast-paced action. I'm talking lights, camera, action. You better be about that action, cause ain't no need for no act. Talking hits so hard they breaking backs. Yeah, I ain't with all the chitter chatter.
When you look at the standings, ladies and gentlemen, focus on the top 6. Just focus on the top 6. That's where the action's going to be. That's where you want to be, in that sweet zone. Little hint: playoffs, top 6. Got to be there, right? But remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow everything NAL related at thenationalarenaleague.com, but also NAL Network, nal-network.com. Get exclusive content from coaches' shows, podcasts, highlights, and full game replays live on the NAL Network, and more future content that's coming down the line. Visit NAL Network, nal-network.com for more information. But after this break, ladies and gentlemen, I was joined by none other than a legend of the sport, in my opinion, one of the better quarterbacks to ever play the game. Coming up next is Sioux City's quarterback, Lorenzo Brown Jr. We'll be back right after this.
We are gold for energy! Send it!
Incoming!
Put the money in the bag, man!
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is awesome! Welcome to Earth! No, who's flying the plane? Get cockpit, go! God!
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
First Form protein bars and sticks. High protein, maximum taste. 20 grams of protein in every bar, 18 grams of protein in every stick. Gluten-free, no artificial flavors, just pure fuel. First Form, shop now.
I earned my degree online from SNHU. It was the flexibility. It was very easy with my busy schedule.
Keep pushing. Every single day, you take it a step at a time, and you're gonna do it.
We have families, we have homes, work. It has flexibility for me to live my life, and now I'm here. I graduated.
When Southern New Hampshire University says that they can get you to that finish line, they got me to the finish line. Apply today at snhu.edu.
I am now joined by Sioux City Bandits quarterback and arena, you can say legend, because he's been around, no other than Lorenzo Brown Jr. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Well, I don't know what you've been doing lately besides throwing touchdowns like crazy the last 2 weeks. Only highlights I've been seeing is full field end zone touchdown passes.
Yeah.
But it seems like when you hear yourself and hear your name as a player, people go look at your history from Sioux Falls to Arizona to Omaha and Sioux City, and imagine that, back to Sioux City. Your journey somehow keeps you in this region. What brings you back to Sioux City? What brings you back to indoor football every season?
Well, I mean, we'll start with Sioux City. I mean, I've always had a good relationship with Coach Irv and all the coaching staff there ever since I was there in my first year, 2014. So it's always one of those things that, my best friend Marlon, who's the defensive coordinator, he started his career there, and he's been coaching, and every chance I get, if I got a bye week with the Storm, if they got a home game, I'll just go catch a game. And it's like I've never left, and just the close-knit bond we built over the years with all the coaches and even the players that are still there. It's what I feel welcomed every time I do come back. So as far as me still playing, I mean, it's I assess the year by year, and I always say if the mind is there and the body will follow, I mean, I'm going to play as long as I can. I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth after how last year ended, with how all that went down in Omaha, and I had a shoulder injury to get cleaned up and figured out. And I said, if I can throw the ball, if I can move around, I'm going to, still play if I'm wanted. And, had a conversation with Coach Loban and Coach Irv, and, here I am. So, yeah.
Well, when people saw your name go through the transaction wire, people like, why is Sioux City doing this, especially with a certain individual from Ohio State that currently plays there. But we saw what happened the first 2 games. Some interesting packages between you two,
Yeah.
which is, I think you threw 4 passes to him over the course of the 2 games. I may be a little wrong, but what type of unique concept that is? 2 of the better quarterbacks to play the indoor game playing on offense at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to Verlon and his attributes as an athlete. You know, I would consider him one of the, another top quarterback in the league, and he's gifted to have a receiver background also, and just add another wrinkle into the offense, and he can definitely contribute. You see him running down on kickoff and making tackles and cracking on the linebacker and picking up blocks and catching the ball, and just a way to contribute. I mean, I kind of look at it how it was my first year in Sioux City when Scott Jensen was a quarterback, a proven quarterback. And I had, a long time ago, I played receiver too, and had those attributes as an athlete and just want to contribute to the team, and just add another wrinkle into the offense and make defenses think a little bit harder and kind of catch them in certain looks that we want based on who we have out in the field. And it's a luxury to have as an offense and as a team. And it's just, like I said, it's a testament of a team first mentality that we all try to have as a one unit, one group. And yeah, I mean, it's where we're at, and it's something that's going to only help us out in the future.
Well, we can speak about your team, and you've been in the industry for a while, and it seems like when you look at Sioux City, it seems like you're not associating with yourselves with a lot of rookies. It's a very vet-led organization, especially with Bruno and other individuals. Is that the mindset this year in Sioux City? Veteran-led, you know what the mission is. There's no playing around. This is a championship type of caliber team associated with all the vets around this team.
If you look at the team that they had last year to this year, not much has changed. It's just the mindset that we kind of came in with this year. I mean, guys were worried about the wrong stuff last year, and then kind of butt heads and not thinking about the whole goal, which is to win games and just be a group and be one unit, be on the same page. And I think that was the main focus coming in this year. A couple new pieces added in, and it's just they were in a lot of games last year, just had bad breaks and didn't finish, and that's been a key emphasis on this year. Going out, doing what we're supposed to do, not making the stupid mistakes or the missed assignments or whatever the case is, and just actually finishing games. And yeah, it's only been 2 weeks, but I think that precedent's been set and that mentality is there, and we just got to go week in and week out and just put it all together for 4 quarters, not 3 or 3.5 or whatever the case is that happened to them last year. And I feel that we got a good group overall, and a couple pieces to add on as the season goes on, just like any other year. And the guys that we bring in or come back from injuries or whatever the case is, will have to buy into that mentality and just and do what's best for the team, and put a good group together and try to win some games.
Well, speaking about winning some games, you won back-to-back games against Northwest Iowa, and this past week against the Almaro Warbirds. And one of the people, when people, especially fans, think of a Lorenzo Brown, they think of a guy who's going to sit in the pocket, nickel and dime, throw deep ball, like strategic. That's what people think. Like people who cover you and talk about you, that's you. They said, give him time. He's a cerebral assassin. He's going to tear up a defense. But what you showed this past week, and what you did show a little bit against Northwest Iowa, is that those legs are still there.
Yeah.
And you made some runs this past week against Almarillo that I think Almarillo was like, wait, he can still run?
Yeah. I kind of picked my spots now. I mean, I kind of, as I got older, as much reps I've seen, as much game I've played, defense can't change that much. And, I kind of know, based off what picture I see each play on where I want to have an idea to go with the ball. And, it's not when I was younger, the first read's not there, I'll just take off and improvise. Now I'm going through my progressions, the first, second, third, and then, okay, now I can, get out of pocket or do something if I need to. And I've always let the game come to me. But yeah, I mean, that just comes to what I was saying earlier. If, the mind's there, the body will follow. I'll still play at times, if I just gotta, pick them up and put them down, I'll try my best to get some positive yards when need be. So
I remember your younger careers when in Sioux Falls, you were just
Mhm.
running crazy. Then
No.
and then you had a little transition where you just like, this is a little of an analogy. You had the Tom Brady moment where you're like, "What am I running around? Let me just
Yeah.
make
I mean,
make the
though,
people
I
around me
feel
better
like,
to make me better."
back when I first started, it was like everybody was getting faster and stronger and younger, and I'm just getting older and slower and all that. And I gotta kind of had to adapt my game and change it. And it comes with a lot of reps. So like I said, and seeing a lot of game, playing a lot of games, and being in certain situations, and just knowing what I can and can't do anymore, and just kind of tweak the mindset and try to take that, like you said, cerebral approach, and just knowing what I want to do each and every play, and making sure my guys are on the same page with me, and get the offense rolling.
Well, speaking about the offense, last week you guys exploded on Almirola. A lot of deep passes. It seemed like you knew where to attack the Warbirds last week, and you consistently did that throughout the game. Is that just a new approach this year? A more open, deep passing route scheme compared to previous seasons of teams that you've been with, including the Sioux City Bandits?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that if the game calls for us to take some shots and expose some of the looks that we're getting, we're going to take it. And we definitely got the playmakers to do it. So that's key also. Without those guys that your Brunos, your Shepherds, your Powells, and even Verlon, and you got Mac in the backfield. We got explosive players from across the board. I mean, and that's the luxury to have as a quarterback. And it can't just they can't just key on Bruno, or whatever the case is. You key on Bruno, then you got the guys coming up. We go up top with DP, you know what I mean, or Shepherd or whatever. So, and if you guys want to fall back in deep zones or whatever, we got Mac. We'll hand it off to him, let him get 5-6 a carry. So it's one of those things that across the board we got playmakers, and it's my job to facilitate and be that point guard, and get the ball where it needs to be.
Well, speaking about Mac, he's been kind of overshadowed by a certain running back over in Pueblo right now, what he's been doing. But in the 2 games that Mac has played, including against Northwest Iowa, it seemed like he has a little, pep in his step. He seems faster. He seems, honestly, from a person observing, seems a lot healthier than he has in the past.
Yeah,
What has Mac been so far with his offense?
Yeah, I mean, what you said is definitely true. I mean, people forget that Mac is very, very good and very explosive. And I mean, I played with him a couple games last year in Omaha, and got to pick up where we left off this year at Sioux City. And I tell you one thing, the way that he plays is exactly how he practices. He is full tilt from start to finish. Every time he touches the ball, he's trying to make a play, or he'll finish the run 15, 20 yards down the field. And that translates in the game. It's full go, 100 miles an hour, no matter what. And he's, I know that he was one guy that you don't ever have to worry about him being in shape or working out. And that's what you want in all your players, especially somebody's going to carry the ball or could carry the load. Yeah, I mean, he made that one run. It's a shame that it got called back, but he really froze that DN and then jumped over another guy and then got in the end zone. So that's just a testament to him, and that's just a glip of what's more to come throughout this year from him.
Well, that play you were talking about, even when he saw the flag fly, he threw his hands up in the air. He's like, "What?" He goes, "I don't care. I'm still dancing," because that was he started dancing, even though you knew you had to redo the play.
Fun. I mean, this is the kids' game. We still get to play as grown men, and that's the emphasis. Is a fine line to celebrate and degrade, but if you celebrate with your teammates, I see there's nothing wrong with that.
And I think that's the veteran side of it, because he's been around the block. So he's been on teams that have not been, very successful, but he's also been on teams that have won championships. So, and including you, you've been around the block. You've won titles. You've been in different leagues and different variations of sport. But we just had, the training camp, 2 games, now bye week.
Yeah.
And the schedule, you're away from home for a couple more weeks before you get back to the Tyson Event Center. What is the mindset, seeing that you're going to have a bye game bye? How you keep your mind mentally focused when you have that type of go and stop type?
Yeah, I mean, it's in years past, I go back to when with the Storm, I mean, bye weeks, bye. We'll see y'all in a week and a half or where the case is. But we actually had practice last night in Sioux City. So we got another one tomorrow night, just to have guys, be there, be in football mode still, and not take the time off for granted and not being able to work. It's good. I mean, it was nothing crazy. It was a good practice. We'll have another one tomorrow, and just having the football on the mind still, and still working out some kinks. It's still early in the season. We've been together, less than a month still, so it's a long season to go. And I kind of like the road trips in the beginning, get those out the way, and kind of build that camaraderie. And the road trips are always a good time. It's you get to bond with your teammates and get away from work and your family, and just kind of just focus on football. Not to say that work and family are a bad thing, but it's just it's how to build that bond with your new teammates and get to know one another, and just it's part of the grind. It's we embrace it, and it's what we sign up for. And it's going to be nice to have those last 5 home games, the last 6 games of the year. It's going to be really nice, and hopefully we set ourselves up to finish strong throughout the season, and those games will be key.
And I know you guys don't play until next weekend against Pueblo, but this weekend Pueblo's playing Dallas. Are you going to be tuning in this weekend to see what Pueblo can bring to the table when you guys face them next week?
Yeah, I'll catch the games. I got the NIL network, got the subscription there. So it's nice to be able to flip flop in all the games and all that. And I mean, that we doing ourselves a disservice if we don't watch that game and see what they're putting on film and what they're doing, so we can have an idea how to attack them and see what tendencies they have, and just put together a game plan where we can go out there and execute.
Well, that's in 2 weeks. That's on the NAL Network, of course. Dallas versus Pueblo this week as well on the NAL Network. You got to buy. You got the game, then you got to buy after that. You got some step before you get back home. But we've already played a couple of games. What game are you more looking forward to this year? What's the one that you circling, or you want to, not really, because I know you one game at a time, but what game stands out like you can't wait to play that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know what game I'm worried about. I'll be up there the 4th. So we got to get through Pueblo first, and then put together a game plan and go out there and execute. So, I'm looking forward to it. Not only that, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and being with my guys and putting up some numbers and scoring some points and putting some W's in that wins in that column.
And we all know who that game, to the fans out there, you know what game he's talking about. I'm not going to, Okay. Lorenzo, I really appreciate you joining me today. Enjoy your bye week. Get ready for Pueblo. Enjoy the road trip. You're going out to Colorado, so that must be a nice scenery going out there.
It's beautiful up in Colorado. Yeah, always a good time.
And I appreciate you coming on this edition of Inside the Walls.
Sounds good. Go Bandits. Have a good one, man. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate Lorenzo Brown joining me. You can tell a veteran-led individual is about to lead his team to a championship run, and a bye week, on and off, it's kind of intriguing. Although I know some players like it, some don't. But if you're a vet like Lorenzo Brown, if you're like the Sioux City Bandits, who are veteran-led, especially with Mac and other individuals, Sioux City has a chance to make an interesting run. They have a big matchup in 2 weeks at Pueblo. It's going to be in a good, interesting, entertaining type of game. We'll see what those two teams will get next week in the NAL, especially this week in the NAL. Before we leave the show, ladies and gentlemen, remember, NAL Game Days this week, and it's featured the Salina Liberty and the Omaha Beef. I got Sioux City on my head because we just had Lorenzo Brown on the show. Again, NAL Game Day exclusively for the big game of the week, Omaha Salina. A rivalry renewed. We'll have representatives from both teams and a little bit of a history behind the rivalry. It will air exclusively on the NAL Network, Facebook accounts of the NAL, and much, much more. 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central for all your viewing needs to get you guys ready for the rebirth of a rivalry between Salina and Omaha. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we can't do none of this here in the National without our partners. Black Rifle Coffee, Hard AF Seltzer, First Phantom Energy, MyBookie, and SNHU. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of the week. Big time matchup coming up this weekend in the NAL. 2 big games: Omaha, Salina, Dallas, and Pueblo, all exclusively on the NAL network. Get it now. With that, ladies and gentlemen, be well. See you next week, or in this case, see you for NAL Game Day. I'm Jim Marie. This is Inside the Walls Podcast.
Talking fast-paced action. I'm talking lights, camera, action. You better be about that action, cause ain't no need for no act. Talking hits so hard they breaking backs. Yeah, I ain't with all the chitter chatter, only talking facts. It's the NAL, we be playing indoors, no outdoors, and it ain't on the ground. It's the NAL, it's the NAL, it's the NAL, it's the NAL. Ooh.